Hi, it's Kim McGrath from Expressions of the Universe with your May highlights for 2023. I have your stars and cards and your horoscopes all getting ready for the eclipse. I will probably be time stamping this. So let's sit back with a nice cup of tea or your favorite bev and let's get started. I do have a lot for you. So we're coming upon the full flower moon in Scorpio, and that will accompany a lunar eclipse, which is pretty big because that's a south node eclipse, a lot of energy behind it. It's in Scorpio. There's a lot of energy behind it. So I have cards for you. I have your horoscopes. I've got the charts. But first, the other day when I was preparing the slides for this, I had a huge channel come through and I wrote it down and I hope it's going to articulate well. So I want to read that before I put anything up, simply because this was powerful when I was writing it down and the information was just flowing. And then I picked the card for the week and it happens to be time. This is from a new deck that I got from a local artist. I did a horrendous pick a card the other day. Probably the worst recording that I've ever made in the history of like 700 recordings. But the cards are pretty powerful. It is the Inner Child and Beyond deck. And she was just a local artist that was stopping by trying to sell some of her decks. I got one. The artwork's really beautiful, but the time card, and this is the card that I picked in the pick a card, talks about time not being linear, how we all see time as linear, but it's really cyclical. And that the work that we're doing here and now is actually going back 7 generations and forward 7 generations and healing, you know, our ancestors, healing our legacy. Can't think of what the word is, you know, like our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so on and so on. And so if we can perceive how time is cyclical, how everything is happening all at once. You know, Albert Einstein, quantum physics. That's why I loved him so much. He was such a master Piscean, brilliant. And he talked about string theory and how there are all these different dimensions that are all next to each other. So, you know, when I think about grieving, yes, we maybe can't see our loved ones and our loved beings that have passed, but they're all right here. And the signs have been off the hook. I've gotten so many messages from so many of you that after the live video I did, and this has happened to me because I reached out to one of the participants and said, since we started talking about sequential numbers, that's all I'm seeing. I was just looking up at the clock, not a sequential number right now, but it's, you know, 555, 222, 333. I always see 1, 2, 3, 4 all the time. 11, 11, 1, 1, 1. I've been seeing 10, 10 quite a bit. And this is every day. It's just been more and more. So pay attention to the signs. So this is the card for the week. Maybe I will be able to post some more information about it. The crystals or stones that I chose for us for the week, I really thought black tourmaline would be fantastic, simply because we are in Taurus season. We're coming upon the lunar eclipse. We're in the middle of the eclipses right now as I'm recording this. So it's kind of like a wormhole or a portal. And this really keeps us grounded and it also protects us. Well, I talked about protection in that live video. And then I thought, well, the lunar eclipse is, even though it's a full moon, you know, the moon is being eclipsed. The lights are going out on any eclipse. And so I thought that selenite, Selene, which is of the moon, would be such a fantastic companion to the black tourmaline. If you don't have black tourmaline, black obsidian, jet, labradorite, you know, they're all good. Anything black, shungite. And then of course, like, I love selenite because if you go outside on a full moon and it's clear and you hold this up, it will glow just like it's glowing right now. Because it's, you know, the moon's stone, so to speak, not moonstone, but selenite, Selene of the moon. All right, so let me read the channeling that I did. Then I will move into the chart real quick, the highlights for the month, and then your horoscopes and cards. So let's get a little tea. Lavender tea, lavender and citrus, really yum. We are remembering the eclipses. We are remembering. The eclipses act as portals to allow us to remember in cycles. When you are here, when you're here, this is your soul, your DNA maybe, trying to remember something bigger than you in the now. So you, by you showing up and watching this, there's something within you that attracted you to listen to this. Even if you don't understand what I present, just being here is an indication of ascension. It's quantum physics, the sequential codes being revealed. The eclipses offer us an opportunity. So we all have this huge opportunity. Remember, if you saw the live video, I talked about how the eclipses come in cycles of 19 years. The upcoming eclipse, we can look back to May 5th or 6th, 2004, 6 months on either side. Previous to that, it was April 19th of 2004. So, you know, that whole time period, 6 months on either side, what was going on in your life. You could go back another 19 years to 1985. And then 1966, I believe, you know, depending on how old you are. And that's how all eclipses work. So they offer us an opportunity. We get 3 to 5 eclipses per year. So we're always being given the opportunity. Now, this was interesting. Not everyone takes the opportunity at the same time. Or even now, so to speak. And that's okay. So, you know, sometimes we're working on other things within ourselves. But those that take the opportunity will be moving on from current situations, maybe current people, because you're in a different frequency. And you'll know when, like, I'm not even reading what I wrote, but just feeling in my being what I was feeling when I channeled this, you'll know when your frequency changes because things will not resonate with you anymore. I used to watch horror films all the time. I can't really anymore. I mean, some, as long, you know, it depends. There's a lot of things that I just can't watch anymore, like the news. There's people that I can't be around anymore. Our frequency changes, and it happens to all of us. And those of us that stay, try to keep our frequency and match frequency to familiar things. you'll feel that resistance in your body and it's not comfortable. And you wind up being so miserable, right? You know, think back to a time that you're in a place or situation or relationship that you're trying to maintain, excuse me, and it's just so uncomfortable because your frequency has changed or the other person's frequency has changed. You know, it goes both ways. And so we think that we're supposed to be staying in situations all the time, that the longevity has to be there. And some we do, as long as they are still comfortable and feeding our souls. Okay, enough of that. All right, so those that take the opportunities move on in a different frequency. There are signs along the way, sequential numbers, synchronicities. So important to follow gut instincts with the self and other people and places and what brings joy to the self. The expansion of the consciousness that has been on supercharge since 2012, big shifts. Let me reread that. The expansion of the consciousness has been on supercharge since 2012. So it's like ascension, 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 ascension. Not everybody does it all at the same time, but we are all growing, all at our own pace. 2022 marked a halfway point to the gateway to many gateways that are opening to expand the consciousness. Where this information came from, I have no idea, but I feel like it's accurate. You will notice no longer being attracted to the ugliness in the world. That's one of the biggest things. A change in what we allow ourselves to participate in, what we allow ourselves to be entertained by. Less desire for drama and division, more attraction to peace, harmony, love, joy, bliss, and beauty. And so, yeah, definitely finding myself being less attracted to all of the ugliness in the world. I think of like the 7 deadly sins, you know, people that are acting in any of those 7 behaviors. I just really don't want any part of it. And it's not like I'm this higher being. I don't want any of that drama, and it's ugly and it's not right. But at the same time, I have a measure of Schadenfreude, which is German word, and I hope I pronounced it correctly. It's a German word for experiencing great joy in another's suffering. And I'm trying to move myself out of that in certain cases, because then that just goes to show that I am human, because there are certain things that I'm seeing and I'm just like, okay, karma, baby. Karma does not forget an address. And so if I was this total higher being, I wouldn't even be having Schadenfreude, or even thinking that. It's immense joy from another's misfortune. And I think we all probably experience that. Okay, let's bring up the chart, the highlights. The highlights. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully it goes off without a hitch. Not sharing my screen. Don't know. I don't know what's happening. I've been I think I may have to restart my computer. I'm hoping that you're all seeing this. I don't know. It's really weird. Let me stop sharing real quick. Let me. Sorry. Yeah, like, I don't know if you heard that. It's been a while since I've had puppies barking, right? Okay, I'm gonna go into full screen mode, share my screen. For some reason, like I can't see, I can't see the presentation. So weird. So weird. Let me try something else, but I don't know if you'll see my mouse. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you can see my mouse. So we're having the May highlights. And not as jam-packed as April was, thank goodness, but just as powerful, if not more. So May 1st, Pluto will be moving into Aquarius, or Pluto in Aquarius is going retrograde. Just so you know, all of the outer planets, which are Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, they go retrograde every single year for like the whole summer until, you know, the fall or winter. So that's nothing new. We go through it every year and you probably don't even know. But Pluto in Aquarius retrograde, moving back into Capricorn, it's the second of 5 passes through 2025. And that grinding, that's what I call it. It's just like going back and forth over between the end of Capricorn and the beginning of Aquarius over and over again, 5 times over the next couple of years. So I feel for the Capricorns and the Aquarians because, you know, Capricorns are saying goodbye to a lot of things and the Aquarians are saying hello to a lot of things. We're all saying goodbye to the old ways and welcoming in brand new, fresh ideas. And that can be painful. May 5th or 6th, depending on where you are, we have the full flower moon and lunar eclipse in Scorpio at 14 degrees, 58 minutes. It's coming in here in Philadelphia at 1:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in Central, it will be on May 5th, Central, Mountain, Pacific. On the other side of the pond, in Europe, UK, it will be happening on May 6th. May 7th, Venus moves into Cancer. That should be pretty lovely because, you know, Venus, although at home in Taurus and Libra, brings, you know, a really lovely nurturing energy. With the sun being in Taurus, Venus is the ruler of Taurus. I think this combination could be really wonderful for all of us to take good care of ourselves. May 14th, Mercury will go direct in Taurus, but still remain in the shadow until June 1st. May 16th, this is huge. I will have to do a separate video for this. Jupiter is moving into Taurus for 12 months. I love it because I'm a Taurus rising, and 12 years ago, so Jupiter runs in 12-year cycles. 12 years ago was one of the best years of my life. You'll have to stay tuned for my Jupiter in Taurus video. The kicker, the caveat to this is because Pluto's moving back into Capricorn, well, before it does, it takes a very long time. While it's in Aquarius, Jupiter will be squaring Pluto for the next 12 months. It'll go out of sign, but it won't be trining in Capricorn like it should. That difficulty, that challenge within itself, I'll talk about it in the Jupiter video. It's not a bad thing because squares, although people are like, oh my gosh, I have a square in my chart. It could be headbutting and anger, and you know, we're going to see it out in the world for the next year. But squares force us to take action and do something about it. You can't sit back and just allow things to happen. You have to be an active participant. Then we have the new moon in Taurus at 28 degrees, 25 minutes. That's on May 19th. That's at 11:53 a.m. here on the East Coast. So no matter where you are, it will be on May 19th. Looking forward to this, May 20th, Mars moving into Leo. So finally, Mars does not like being in Cancer. It's like putting a wet blanket on a fire and you just get steam. There's just not enough oomph to that. So Mars in Leo, fire on fire, that's going to heat up and get really hot. That'll be juicy, especially with Venus in Cancer and then the sun moving into Gemini. But May 20th should be really nice because even May 19th, Mars is so close to Leo, although at the very end of Cancer. So I don't know what we could get from that. But it just feels like we'll have a couple of days of like really juicy, lovey, yummy energy. I have these horoscopes. You can pause your screen and read them if you like. I am trying to save time. I did print them out and I will be reading a little bit of them with the cards that I'm pulling for each of you, but I'm not hovering on here very long. Okay, so Pluto retrograde and Jupiter in Taurus. I wanted to point out, where is this happening in your charts, in our charts, and in the world? So the most affected signs are the fixed signs of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio, and the cardinal signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So where that tension is, so this is a square. This is a square, that's a square, that's a square. And then if I drew a line like that, that would be a T-square. These are the axis points that will feel the most tension, but will also reap the most benefits if you do the work, if you take action. Can't sit around being lazy. That is for sure. And currently the north and south nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio, and they will be moving into Aries and Libra for 18 months starting in July. That'll be another video that I'll talk about. So we have a lot of new beginnings and big changes that will last forever. Fixed signs may feel the most pain because they don't like to make changes. They're fixed in their ways. The cardinal signs, though, where this is hitting, that's launching new ideas, new beginnings. So that's pretty nice. Okay, here's the full flower moon, lunar eclipse. The fixed eclipses have a longer lasting and more profound effects. We have a grand trine in water. So you see this blue triangle, and it's hitting, the moon is in Scorpio, Neptune is in Pisces, and then right over here we have Mars in Cancer, grand trine in water. I would expect things to be very emotional on this lunar eclipse. I particularly do not like lunar eclipses. I've had some very sad experiences, but maybe this could be different. I don't know. Strong influence from Uranus, because here's the sun in Taurus and Uranus is conjuncting or right next to it. Uranus is always expect the unexpected. It's in Taurus with this eclipse. Could we have Earth-related weather events, Earth-related seismic events? And the thing is, with it being in a fixed sign, whatever happens is forever. When I say, oh, it has longer lasting, more profound effects, usually when something big happens on an eclipse that is in a fixed sign, it lasts forever. Scorpio represents elimination. So any toxicity that we have, Scorpio is the elimination system in the body, and full moons are for eliminating. Be careful what you eat, and be careful, about taking any kind of laxatives or anything, because you could be crapping your pants, especially depending on what your chart is, right? Explosive diarrhea. That's all that's coming to mind, and I can't stop laughing. But Scorpio represents elimination, and it's not just in the body, but it's eliminating a lot, eliminating the clutter, eliminating the drama, eliminating the hatred, the ugliness. We're bringing in the beauty of Taurus. Okay, and the sun in Taurus represents self-worth and what we value. So, not only is Taurus, people say, oh, it's money and it's land, but it's about how do you feel about yourselves. And the reason why those two are interrelated, because often people associate their self-worth with what they have, with the car that they drive, with the house that they live in, with how, the numbers on their bank account. And people will equate self-worth with material things instead of immaterial things. So that's what we're thinking about, especially with this Mercury retrograde in Taurus. What else can I say about this? I think that's it. I would like to move on to the horoscopes and the card reading. I think that's all I have for you there. But yeah, this is going to be a huge, huge eclipse. And I just want to get it over with, because you know what, 2004, I had, like, if this is a cycle of that, although I think it's like a little bit of the opposite, I had a lot of loss, gut wrenching, because I don't like to make changes. But it led me in such a fantastic direction that I wouldn't be here, right? Like in this space, in this house, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the eclipses that happened in 2004. So I really had to grow up. Like, that was a pivotal moment in my life where, yeah. So I've already shuffled the cards. I have 3 decks that I'll pull from. So I want to give you a good reading. Now, Aries. I'm going to start with Aries. Aries, we're looking at, sorry, let me get my act together. Aries, this eclipse and the full moon is hitting you in your mind, where you think, in your communication, in your neighborhood, with your transportation, with your technology, siblings, cousins, close relatives like aunts, uncles, early education, elementary education, maybe learning something new. I wrote down these horoscopes as they flowed. Aries, you may find conflicts that lead you to assess what's important to you, how you value yourself. Maybe challenging. Try to avoid getting defensive and use the tension as motivation to make the necessary changes to live more authentically. You deserve it. All right, so the inner child card that's coming up is hope. And my nails are dirty. At least they look that way to me. Sorry. Cleaning them on the fly. Hope is the card and reminds me of the star in a traditional tarot deck, and holding on to hope and knowing that you will be rising above any difficulties that could be coming your way. The Merlin card is coming up, and that says that you already have everything that you need to make things work out for you. You just need to put it together. Kind of like a puzzle. You get all the puzzle pieces, and then you have to figure out how they fit together. That's the Merlin card. And then I have the healer card here for you. And this says you and possibly somebody you care about need to be healed from the effects of the past traumas before things can be resolved to your liking. So I hope you liked that. Where am I putting these cards? I am very limited on space over here. All right. Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, let's back up. Everything's hitting home, in the family, in the ancestral lineage, in property, land, possibly. This is feminine energy. This is emotional energy. This is about self-care, self-nurturing. It's about your roots. It's about your family. So while you may be called to take life, especially your commitments more seriously, Taurus, doing so can be achieved at a slow and steady pace. Well, that's Taurus. Get rid of time-wasting habits. The more efficient you are, the more time there will be to relax. Well, I'm all about that, baby. And the card you have, your inner child, is trust. I think the lighting is, these really are beautiful cards, and I don't think that they show up good on this camera. Trust. Everything that's unfolding is for your higher good, for your benefit. Trust that there's a safety net. Whatever it is that you need will be there when you need it. Perception, Taurus. This is about changing your perception, getting out of that any fear-based mentality, hatred-based mentality, loving yourself more, valuing yourself more. Just changing a little shift in your perception could change your whole entire world. And your card is the Peacemaker. Interesting. It is time to make peace. You will get much farther on your path through kind acts and words than you will by forcing things or by using vengeance. That's interesting. All right, Gemini. This is about romance, love affairs, play, creativity, fertility, your inner child, childlike spirit, joy, expressing yourselves, taking speculative ventures, not adventures, and going with them after we're out of retrograde and everything. And I love that because I'm a Gemini sun. And sometimes there's drama involved. Gemini, use this time to finish things you've been leaving until the last minute. I procrastinate. The more clutter you can clear from your to-do list, the fresher you'll feel for your new solar year ahead. Remember, you're making room in your life for better things. Oh, I like that. I wrote that. Interesting. Crack myself up. All right. The belonging card comes up. And this is saying that you may be needing to change your social circles. This may be a card of like feeling that you don't belong in a certain place or with certain people. You'll be really feeling it now and feeling the need to move on. Restrictions, the inability to move on. But are the restrictions your own self-limiting beliefs? It seems as though there will be some obstacles that really slow you down. Yeah, and I think that if you can clear the clutter, focus on that, it will open up those obstacles. The card that you're getting is the escapist. Ooh. Okay, and I'll admit to that a little bit. That's definitely a Piscean thing, but Saturn in Pisces, yeah. Sometimes says you or someone you care about may seek refuge in escapist behaviors when faced with limits, difficulties, or sorrow of some sort. Well, yeah. Okay. I'll be on the lookout for that, right? Cancers. Cancers, this is about your health, self-nurturing, your daily routine, maybe your animals. This is work, organization, service, you doing things for people. Last month I said, hey, slow that down, right? And then you probably didn't. So this month it says you are finally starting to feel like you can slow down, Cancers, though this might come with a bit of guilt. As long as you're taking care of your responsibilities, tell that annoying inner voice to chill out because you've earned a rest. All right. The shadow card is coming up. And so I feel like with Pluto moving retrograde and then back into Capricorn, which will be opposing or opposite of Cancer, that's the shadow side. And so, you know, you could see some ugliness rearing its head. Embrace it, you know, don't run away from the shadow. Take a good look at it. And even our shadow sides have beautiful things within it. Embrace the shadow and see how you can be one and put your light and your shadow together and see how your shadow has, you know, maybe gotten you to where you are. Yeah, I think that this is good, but you'll be taking a good hard look at your shadow. I would think that this would have been a really good card for Scorpio, actually, with the lunar eclipse and the full moon in Scorpio. Oh, boy, Cancers, you can't catch a break today. The Goblin card is coming up, and this is saying the goblins will show up, the shadows show up, even shadow people, or unwanted entities when you're living in a lower vibration. Fear, anger, hatred, guilt, even grief. All of that feeds the goblins. Also, too, what I'm hearing is when we are trying to drink away our insecurities or that lower negative, we're actually lowering our vibe even more. And then that's when the goblins show up. Trust me, I've been there. And it isn't fun. And it took a really long time to realize that, oh, you can't, you know, escape the goblins by drinking or, you know, doing other things, because it actually attracts them and makes them show up more. So that's a story for another time, but yeah. So are you feeding that shadow by staying in that lower negative vibration? In your card is the humorist. Okay, well, yeah, because if humor and laughing is definitely a higher vibration. It says the refreshing joy, exhilaration, and skills learned from creative play. Oh, sorry. And laughter are their own reward and can help you solve all of your problems. I love that. So be silly and get rid of the goblins in your life. All right, Leos. Leo, we're talking about relationships, whether it be marriages, contracts, any interaction, any relationship you have with a person, place, or thing. This is business, business partners, equality, sharing, interpersonal style, and hidden and open enemies. I'm sorry, open enemies. Leo, you might find yourself with a case of the blahs. Immerse yourself in a creative project, even better if it's something you've already started. Surround yourself with bright colors, burn some candles, or sit by a fire. All of that will help to spark your inner light. Bliss. Look, that's so warm and cozy. I love all the forest animals. The kids are in the forest playing, and it's beautiful, warm, fiery colors, which goes perfect with your horoscope. But bliss, this is about finding your bliss. You're walking around miserable, like get out of it, do something creative. That's what Leos love to do best. Get out in the sunshine. Wait a minute. Oh, I put the goblin. I'm going to keep this. I must have put the goblin on top of the deck. So hopefully you just heard me talk about the goblin for cancers. This is saying get out of your own way. When you stay in a lower negative vibration, you're feeding the goblins. But I'm going to give you your actual card. Oh, forgiveness. Forgiveness is on the docket. So who is it that you have to forgive, Leos? Is it yourself? Is it another? Forgiving, for thinking the way that you were thinking. Now I am a Leo moon, so now I'm thinking about this myself. So interesting, but often it's about forgiving ourselves for things that we did or did not do, and then we feel guilty about it, and then that keeps our vibe down. Okay, your card, thought it said the warrior. It's the worrier. The worrier is coming through. It says, know that you have the power to defeat negative thinking. Learn to understand and cope with your greatest enemy, your own fears. Interesting, isn't it? All right. He's in the right place. Virgos, little virgins. Probably not. All right, so Virgos, this is about, well, it's merging sex, intimacy, shared finances, inheritances, taxes, loans, debts, assets, other people's money, mystery and not knowing. It's also secrets. So take this opportunity to organize your time. Examine your self-care routine. Does it need an upgrade? Or has it gotten to the point where you actually need to reinstate or start a self-care routine? Give yourself permission to add it to your schedule. Oh, coming home is the card for you. And I love this. So it's like this mother is standing at the edge of the forest and all of her children are coming home to her. The babies are coming home. But this is about, bringing that inner child back into yourself and finding a home and a safe space within yourself. That's why the self-care and nurturing. I love that. This is pretty cute, isn't it? Let's see, anything else that I get from this? And then coming home, I'm also picking up you know, maybe a passing or somebody on the other side that is a mother figure, because I feel like this is a universal, like a bigger than us type of energy. The High Priestess, this is definitely tapping into your intuition, tapping into the signs, the messages. Somebody from the other side is really trying to get a hold of you. But this is also about being discerning, very, very discerning, especially like follow your gut instincts. This is judgment, but is it self-judgment or judging others? And it's definitely prophecy and vision. Ooh, this is good. The Manifester. Okay, Virgos. So, you know, the sun in Taurus is trining your whatever you have in Virgo. So this is a beautiful time. The Manifester comes up. Wait, let's do this. Oh, can't. What the hell? Get my hands correct. The Manifester, monitoring your inner dialogue and using quantum affirmations daily can help you to make real your desired life changes. Love that. Love that for the Virgos. Love that for my Virgo stellium and my Virgo friends. All right, Libra. Libra. We're looking at travel, wisdom, philosophy, higher education, religion sometimes, but I feel like don't be too preachy, get off of that soapbox. Foreigners, foreign things, legal systems, justice, and ethics and morals. Libra, if you're feeling out of sorts, take a break to talk to your friends. Putting feelings into words instead of holding it in often helps clear them out. Having someone to dialogue with will help you see things from a new perspective. I've been thinking about my Libra friends because, you know, like I've been such a hermit that I haven't talked to anybody in a while, and they've been on my mind. Libra, it's time to surrender. Surrender, go with the flow, stop pushing against the grain, stop trying to paddle upstream. If you feel any resistance in your body, know it's time to drop it, put it down, and just lay back and float. Yeah, surrender, protection. Okay, Libra. I am feeling like there are some Libras out there that are really maybe going for a rough ride, little whitewater rafting, but with the protection, you want to do the black tourmaline and the selenite. Okay, the Priestess card is coming up for the Libras. Be still and know, listen to your hunches and your intuitions. Be ready for solutions to seemingly unsolvable problems to appear. So when you surrender, that's when you will get the messages. You know, you're going against the grain, you're forcing things to happen that aren't happening. You got to walk away. You just, even if it's just to take the break and allow yourself. Scorpio, this is your full moon, full flower moon. All right, Scorpios. So we're looking at long-term goals, structure, your reputation, how you're showing up in the outer world, your public images, very public image, masculinity, fathers, experts, home base. Scorpio, you may have had to face some realities recently, and it's been an emotional ride. Letting things go and moving forward, although challenging, will be helpful. Holding grudges may lead to imagined slights and disagreements. You have better things to do with your beautiful energy. Integration, and this is about bringing all of that energy in, all the good energy from the previous eclipse, allowing everything to go that doesn't belong. This is about growth and absorbing, bringing bringing in new things into your life. But I think you do need like a 2-week period of that purge before the integration starts to begin. The novice, new beginnings, matching cards almost. So I love that. That's a good affirmation. And this is just saying, yeah, new things are happening for the Scorpios. And your card is the Warrioress. You have the ability to conquer your fears and faults and the right to defend who you are, who you love, and what you believe in. Fight for what it is that you love and want, right? All right. Sagittarius. Okay, Sag, this is about groups, your friends, social awareness, social outings and parties. It is technology, air travel, dreams, hopes, wishes, greater humanity, the future. This is really good. Sagittarius, there's been a distinct shift in energy leading to a time of introspection. Until recently, you've been expressing outwardly and burning bright. But now it's time to look where changes need to be made in that area of like all of the social chatter. You have better things to do. Oh, wait, that's Scorpio. Sorry. Remain objective and be honest with yourself. All right. Persona. Oh, so I feel like with this card, the persona card, it's asking like, are you putting on a mask and being a certain way with certain people, being a different way with other people? This is about you taking a look at that whole dynamic of who you are, how you show up in the outer world with your friends and acquaintances. No masks needed. If you can't be yourself, well, then you're in the wrong place. Love this for the Sag. Fire Fairy is showing up. This is talking about your creativity, your fertility. This is about enjoyment and romance and love. And when you show up as yourself, you're loved as yourself, Sag. And your card is the Inventor. And it says, this is a good time to amplify your focus and to clear and purify your space in your world and in your mind to make way for something brand new. Love that. All right, Capricorn, dun, dun, dun. I know Capricorns, you've just been going through the ringer, right? Capricorns, this is about endings and healing, self-sacrifice, being a hermit, like, you know, is it time for you to come out? This is about, you're thinking about getting older. You're thinking about what's the next stage in my life? What is the afterlife? This is hidden enemies, the subconscious, our dreams, intuition, psychic abilities, past lives. So there's a lot playing into this. Capricorn, it's time to reassess what you value in life. You may find yourself feeling very nostalgic. That's definitely 12th house. The past can be a lovely place to visit, but don't stay there so long that you forget to take what you've learned and apply it to your future goals. Oh, alchemy. That's perfect. So, like I mentioned earlier, for another sign, alchemy always says you have everything that you need. You just need to figure out how to put it together. Similar to a puzzle. When you have a puzzle, you have all the pieces, and it's up to you to put those pieces together. Oh, excuse me. Joy, when you put it all together, you get nothing but joy out of this situation. And I love that. So if you are a Capricorn and you are sullen and you've been beating yourself up, come out of it, because there's a whole lot of magic right in front of you that can pull you out of the doldrums. The siren is your card. So can you hear the sirens singing to you? Allow yourself to be distracted from what you should be doing. Leads to procrastination, avoidance, and needless problems. Ooh, ooh. So you better tackle your business, Capricorns. Aquarius. Aquarius, this is all about yourself, the face that you show the world, your appearance, brand new beginnings. It's how you feel about your body, your attitude, your identity, and your approach to life. Aquarius, if it seems like you can't seem to get things right or keep wasting energy on stuff that's not working out, take time to share ideas with people you like and respect and get some feedback. Some sparkling conversation is just what you need to feel like yourself again. Tending. The tending card, and I've made that face because my Aquarian daughter picked this card the other night. The tending card does talk about taking really good care of yourself, tending to the things that matter, which is yourself first, and then tending to everything else. Getting in the garden or getting out in nature, so super important. The Bard. This is about poetry and art and beautiful music and everything that's Venus and Taurus Libra. The Bard talks about, music, poetry, myth, history, enchantment, being enchanted, and storytelling. I love that. This is interesting. The Critic. The Critic is coming up. Oh my goodness. So it says constructive criticism, when asked for, is a gift between friends, but perfection, overanalysis, and pickiness do more harm than good. All right. So tend to your own shit, Aquarius, and leave others alone. Last but not least, Pisces. Okay, Pisces, this is about your self-worth, how you value yourself. It is also about money, material possessions. Are you looking at your self-worth through the lens of money and material possessions instead of what is real, meaning like what you have within yourself? Sometimes this is about your daily routines. If something is like working you to the bone, this is your habits, your priorities, your work ethic, and your job. So you're going to be taking a look at those areas in your life. If you're feeling called to begin something new, avoid getting in your own way. It's easy to talk yourself out of things for fear they won't work out. Have faith that taking action will have better results than doing nothing. Adjustments can be made along the way. Oh, this is very Piscean. It is the card of the soul. And I don't know if you can see that good, but it's really a beautiful card. So this is tapping into the soul of who you are, and finding that beauty and goodness deep within yourself and not in, the material, the tangible. Movement. It's time to get moving, Pisces. It's time to get up and stop procrastinating. You're starting to grow moss under your ass. Got to get moving. So do a deep dive and then get up and just do it. Make up your mind of what it is that you want and just move in that direction. Like I said, have faith that taking action will have better results than doing nothing. How perfect is that? Adjustments can be made along the way. And I love this, the butterfly definitely about transformation and changes. This says, allow yourself to leave behind the past and what is no longer necessary so you can truly be the person you have worked so hard to become. And there's a Pisces out there that I know, they know that that was for them. So that's the May highlights. I will be back with the Jupiter in Taurus video, the new moon in Taurus video. Yeah, and I think that's really all we've got going on, right? So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I think a lot of people really like the live show that I did last week, analyzing some of your charts and talking about where the eclipse is showing up. Maybe I'll be able to squeeze that in over the coming days within the next week before the eclipse. We'll see. I'll ask for some volunteers. Anybody that wants me to look into their chart. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you for now. Until then, happy full moon, happy May, and I'll see you soon. Bye.